All right, just testing everything. Just testing everything. Make sure it's testing everything. Oh, it works. Okay, it's just kind of difficult. So I'm actually in Mexico. Um, so there's like kind of different coverage issues. But yeah, I'm in Mexico. I'm gonna post the link. Anyone can join the stream. Oh my God, it's at 30. It's at shot up to 29 people. Oh my God. So see if it's working on this end. Yeah, so basically I can't really do a catch here because it's like it's basically like, there's like a relative's wedding and I can't like leave the resort because one, it's Mexico, and yeah, it would just be, and also I don't know the legal system of Mexico. But I kind of wanted to say uh you know opportunity to say like opportunity of saying a different kind of catches that I'm going to be doing, that NVCAP's going to be doing, that basically there's a difference between kind of catches that are geared towards convictions and catches that are kind of exposures. And something I'm thinking about is there is a main place kind of like I think NVCAP's main approach is to try to actually go for a conviction. But then I was thinking about it, and what does NVCAP also want to do? It wants to change laws. So what kind of laws? Kind of starting with the petition. There's kind of a measure of make it so that if someone just meets a a minor online, regardless of whether they spoke sexual or not, that they should be charged with some kind of crime because essentially they're luring a child off the internet without parents' permission, and uh, they could have easily been just not talking sexual in the chats, and then when they meet a real kid, then that kid is in danger. So, uh, you know, there's kind of been a petition floating around, and there's been a lot of support for it. And I'm gonna kind of at some point go back either to the maybe the state house. Last time I went in COVID, it was all locked down. But I'm actually considering, even though it doesn't make entirely a lot of sense, there's a lot of United States House representatives. I've actually met one, and that I probably could at least engage to solve problems in Massachusetts because essentially they're kind of there to solve problems in their community, even though they're United States people in Congress. I think that getting a lot of support from that level. I'm in Mass, so basically the petition actually is in Massachusetts. I'm kind of now based in New York, but I'm kind of starting to change law. We kind of want to start the measure of changing laws for Massachusetts. So it's a Massachusetts measure. I want to kind of, I don't know if someone could link the petition. I might have issue finding the petition. Someone could just link the petition. I'm gonna try to look for that petition right now. I'm actually looking for that petition. Okay. Actually, yeah, I'm still, I don't know, I'm having trouble. Because the internet's different here. I have to like translate to Spanish and everything. Okay. One moment. Just should take a moment. Okay, I now have the link. I now have the link. And it is at 283 signatures. I might accidentally send, it's all in Spanish, jeez. I might actually, I have to keep translating every page to English. I don't know. I thought I would just have to do it once. But I'm trying to find the link so I can share it. I don't want to share the huge link. Details. Petition details. Okay, it says 283 supporters. Okay, so here's a simple link. I just want to make sure there's a good link for it. So what this does is it expands kind of what's prosecutable of either child enticement or child luring, which are very similar charges, to make it so that it does not necessarily need a sexual element to be established. It just needs to have one degree of charges where they just basically lure the kid or entice the kid to show up to a meet. And then I think there should be an enhanced charge where there is a sexual element. As far as how the laws work, is usually you kind of would need to tie that crime with some, given they can't consent to some of the uh, criminal codes, per state, you know. Um, so that's kind of a plan, but there are laws that, kind of need to be changed where I kind of want that to be shown in a catch. So I would say, exposure is a good angle, and now I think there is a good opportunity to take a political angle. So there's going to be catches that will be geared towards conviction, but there's also going to be catches that are going to be now geared towards basically showing what is illegal to kind of shock, rightfully so, the public and say this is illegal. So if I do a catch and the predator doesn't talk sexual, I'm going to call that a political exposure catch, where the intent is very clear, and the person will be very clear that they're creepy, that they have malicious intent, but you won't see them literally talk sexual. You'll see that, hey, this is legal. These are our laws, and that with many other things. That's going to be another angle that's going to be approached for basically changing these laws, because I think to an extent you kind of have to show what's wrong with the system first, and like a conviction and kind of a conviction geared catch, it kind of works within the system, and there's no problem with that. I'll continue doing that. That'll be a main angle to go on. But I think to show what's really wrong with the system, there has to be there has to be kind of saying that, hey, this is legal to the public. Are you okay with that? So then change it. So I think that has to be a main that has to be a main approach as well. Because if we're going to say we're changing laws, but we're not kind of showing catches that show the vulnerability of our laws, then I don't see what we're necessarily accomplishing. So I think, so I've always said that, I have nothing against exposure catches. I just kind of thought they were limited, but now there's a specific reason to do exposure catches, because to show kind of what's wrong with the system, we have to show the vulnerabilities of our system. Expose the loopholes in the laws and bring to the senators on a silver platter. That's exactly what we want to do. And I kind of want to also explain two kind of lessons learned, I guess that's what you would call it, to two differences that NVCAP kind of now just catches that I didn't before. So these are two things that I do totally different. If you kind of look where NVCAP started doing catches, or I kind of started doing catches, they were different, and I said things that were operating on a different belief system. One was I didn't believe in posting prior to conviction. So what I thought before was, I should not post a catch prior to conviction because that would hurt the criminal case. And who are we to hurt the criminal case if we're, if we're kind of like if like the system's kind of just taking a leap to take us seriously, just to do a just to convict who we want to convict. I kind of thought it would be too problematic to post kind of the catch beforehand. So why I kind of evolved on that, or NVCAP kind of evolved on that, to basically post certainly before conviction is, well, first of all, I kind of saw like a lot of points made about posting things for conviction. Was I think I saw this thing on Piers Morgan actually, and he said that you're kind of like handing out your own punishment is kind of considered vigilantism, which obviously it's not, but it was kind of like there was kind of an argument that basically just putting out the video is somehow handing out your own punishment and taking matters into your own hands. And it was kind of NVCAP's main goal, I guess, to present ourselves as a movement that we're not vigilantes, that we're here to, basically just here to gather information and present it to the public and to the system in a, without any authority, without any coercion, without any violence or anything like that. But the issue, the holes with that, like the points that I think Piers Morgan was not making, was, and I can't really show the video. I might be able to link the video later on for copyright issues. But the holes with that is, okay, so basically saying that the press should not post on either potential criminal conduct or criminal conduct prior to conviction, meaning only after conviction. But how much times does the news cover trials or when someone pleads guilty? That same argument could be made that the news is handing out their own punishment to the people responsible for that criminal conduct or potential criminal conduct. And then, a trial, that's before conviction. Then I would ask, how much times have, you covered someone being charged with a crime, an indictment? Isn't that also handing out your punishment? Because that's prior to conviction. And the standard for kind of a charge is something to be kind of proven to be. So the standard to be convicted is beyond a reasonable doubt. The standard to be charged is kind of more often than not, it's true. That's my knowledge. That's kind of the standard for a charge. So that's covered by the news all the time. And then even before that, how much times has the news covered criminal investigations? They'll cover, criminal investigations. Sometimes they're politicians. They covered, I'm not, like, by the way, not to get political, I'm not going to talk politics here, but like they covered, they covered Donald Trump's criminal investigation. They covered Hillary Clinton's criminal investigation. They made kind of a political thing over it. So then the same thing could be argued that these people are in investigation. That's even before being charged. That if they're making the same argument to us that we're handing out our own punishment because we're posting prior to conviction, then what could the same argument be made about them posting prior to conviction? And then before even an investigation, many times, sometimes these videos go viral. I mean, not to get political, not to talk about that, you know, but sometimes we often see, and this definitely makes the news, these viral videos. These viral videos before a conviction, before anything at all, just a viral video. How much times has the news covered a viral video and then put that on the news, and then maybe eventually it goes to investigation, maybe eventually it goes to a charge, maybe eventually it goes to a trial, maybe eventually it goes to a conviction, and that's the same thing. So the news can't argue that predator catchers are doing anything different than the news with quote unquote handing out your own punishment. So I'm going to, link the video. So if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'm going to link the video. It's basically where Piers Morgan is basically interviewing a predator catcher. And I can't actually share the video because of copyright issues, but I think I can link it. And I'm going to try to find that video. And I'm literally trying to find the video right now. Yeah. So this was an interview with a kind of a British predator catcher, with Piers Morgan. So again, he kind of makes the point that even though they're not violent, even though they're not, they're kind of just reporting on, potential predators, that somehow that they're being vigilantes just because of the video itself. So the video itself, he said, oh, that's handing out your own punishment. So my kind of argument is, if the news covers, convictions, I mean, if the news covers people pleading guilty, if the news covers trials, if the news covers indictments, charges, if the news covers criminal investigations, if people cover what triggers a criminal investigation, it could even be a viral video, then how is that any different, probably what Piers Morgan has done throughout his career, than a predator catcher? So it's not. It's just a smaller scale. So that's kind of a point I would make, but at the time, it seemed like because I was trying to be very, very careful about catching, I had a problem with posting prior to conviction. But that's kind of one thing. That's a difference now. Another thing is, because even I kind of bought into the arguments of even Mike Fox and everything, which are terrible. To not go live. Can't go live. There's no good reason to go live. If you go live, you're just trying to get views, trying to get clout, whatever it is. To go live or to not go live. And I actually was in the first I was actually making, my catches. I'm trying to think of the first live catch I did. I think it was my fifth catch. I remember the first catch, it was a guy who just drove off. The second catch was the Andrew catch, which was not live. The third catch was actually a catch where I interviewed the predator in his car. So it was not live, and I interviewed the predator in his car. And the fourth catch was actually an issue where it was actually kind of the catch that made me kind of realize that there's a bigger reason to go live beyond basically doing the wrong thing, doing predator catching for views or trying to create something online, or because what happened in the fourth catch was basically, I took very little precautions that I would take now. I interviewed this predator at night. I was I didn't go with anyone. I was alone, and I didn't have any like weapons or anything. You know, and you know, no one knew where it was. So usually, if I were to do a catch on my own, I would, you know, which I do recommend. If it does come to that, doing a catch on your own, I would at least recommend. I would at least recommend, you know, having two contacts, right? Two people that know where you are, that you trust, and to inform them on the non-emergency number and code words so that they know how to react in response to your code words, whether to call the police and tell them either you're in danger or not in danger, or just for them to show up to gather evidence. You know, which actually, you know, I think Alex kind of coined the code words. So yeah, you know, beyond that, what happened was that catch actually turned into kind of a violent altercation, which I was very unprepared for because I was kind of trying to. I was kind of trying to. I was trying to actually have to just do one thing. Someone just made a request. Yep. So yeah, the code words for MVCAP is usually it's. I believe it's red for, you know, call the police because there's a danger, and I think it was blue for just call the police. But I think orange if there were people to kind of go with me and they were maybe in the background, for maybe someone to kind of show to basically to signal them to show up to the catch. But as long as the convention is understood between the people that you're going on a catch with, that's pretty much you know, an important thing. But basically, that catch, I was not going live, right? And you know, my safeguards for the catch was like, oh, I have this. I was on a college campus, and there was this security camera. Like it was kind of like this pole, where it's like one of those things where it has a security camera attached, and then if you hit the button, it would actually call the police. So I thought that because I had that, I was good. You know, I don't need to go live. You know, so basically, the problem with that was it turned to a violent altercation, and the person took the phone and ran. And you know, to be honest with you, I was very unprepared for that. So I didn't want to like. My thing is like I don't want like the police to not know like who basically hit the first hit. So I don't want to go to jail or anything. But essentially, the person ran off with the phone. But if that was alive, if that was live, right? Then it wouldn't matter what would happen with the phone. The evidence would have been preserved for the catch. So it just would have shown maybe up to when either he did whatever he did with the phone, up until when we first met. So I learned that there's actually value in going live for a catch. There's value in beyond, you know, any kind of like nefarious motives that are kind of made out to be about people doing live catches, because I was the first against doing live catches. So the reason is it can kind of create a lot of virtual witnesses, where not only is that footage out there, it's indestructible because someone can even blow up the phone. It doesn't matter, you know, what they do with the phone. It can make it so that we can basically document whatever happened, whatever we're going live on, up to if something does happen, where it won't matter what happens to the phone. The data will be saved. Then beyond that, it can create a lot of virtual witnesses. So I think there is more of a legal precedent to this in Massachusetts, because there was a case. I just want to make sure I'm saying the right. I'm saying the right. I'm saying the right case. I'm citing the right case. Okay, that my phone didn't connect to the internet. This is another. This is another court precedent that was set, where basically just describing it before I have a link. Um, basically, uh, this guy's girlfriend, they're very young at the time. I guess she was 17 and he was 18. Um, the guy was Conrad Roy, and it was a very big case because basically she basically told her she basically told him to commit suicide. You know, he was suicidal, and he said, like, commit suicide. If you don't do it now, you'll never do it. Something like that. Basically, encouraging the boyfriend to commit suicide. So, you know, and then the reason why it was such a big court case is because because she was basically interacting on a text, that it wasn't like she was there and actually literally encouraging him to commit suicide. And basically what happened was very unfortunate story is he started the car in the garage, and he actually got out at one time because he got kind of scared of doing it, rightfully so. But then I believe she encouraged him to actually go back in the car, and then he died. And he did that in response to texts encouraging him to do that. So the reason why that is relevant is because 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 she was texting, she was considered a virtual witness. So I think that that court ruling was kind of whether someone can be a virtual witness and whether you can be accountable to that or not. Whether you can be accountable for whatever you'd be accountable if you're a regular witness. So what does that have to do with the live? Is the people that are watching the live are virtual witnesses. So because of that, I think that it can show a lot of strength in the case as well. It can it's a live stream, it's unedited, and it can save the data if something happens to the phone, and then it can have a lot of virtual witnesses if something does happen. So that's kind of it. I'm gonna kind of basically make it a point to, there will be catches that will have convictions, but there's also going to be a point to have catches that have that kind of. First of all, we're going to talk about the vulnerabilities of our laws, talk about maybe some actual cases that didn't get to conviction, and then to show our vulnerabilities of the laws, and then base catches around them, where we can show that to the public, whatever community we're in. I'm going to be doing a lot of catches in New York. Might do a catch in Massachusetts, but kind of a place for exposure catches to kind of show what is legal and what is not, and that those are vulnerabilities to the system. Um, so it's just like a college professor a year before he retires. I don't know about that. Kind of want to share a link to have more engagement now. Yeah, so it's not really going to be. So it wasn't really feasible at all to be doing any kind of catches here. Because it's kind of like a family thing where it's like a wedding, and I'm not going to say like who it is, but because of that, and I can't really leave the resort. You know, Rightfully so. It would be a bad idea. So, but when I get back, there'll be catches. Yeah, and I thought there could be some kind of discussion about this topic. This is Catcher Loss Seminar 567. I don't know. think I was just talking about the laws. I'm gonna try to look back to see if oh, I lost chat. Yeah, one, I think I should probably share the link. I'm gonna actually pin the link. Yeah, I'm actually trying to engage on this topic, so if there could be on topic conversations. No, I actually haven't, because like I actually didn't even bring my decoy phone because it just would have been such a bad idea to do it. Because one, I don't even know the legal system or anything like that, and I couldn't really make, even if it was a an exposure call, exposure catch, I couldn't really make it about that because I don't know what laws need to be changed. And anyone can call in if it goes through somehow. Yeah, and I'm not gonna ban anyone or anything like that, or censor any kind of free speech. But if we could keep the comments appropriate, that would be appreciated. But yeah, if someone doesn't want to call in, I know the cartel is treating you right. Actually, I want to find out what the actual age consent is in Mexico. It's 15. It's saying it's 15. It says minimum age of consent, sex with persons under this age is always illegal. It's saying 15, apparently. Age at which there are no restrictions. Sex with persons below this age is not illegal, but is still open to prosecution. 18. I don't know what that means. I guess it's saying in yeah, I guess it's saying in Mexico it's 15. Mexico gives criminals a slap in the hand. I saw a gaming in a First Amendment audio live. I thought it was Hyundai. Not sure who that is. Um, Scroll up. Yep, we're doing calls. I have horrible stories of abuse of my ex-students here in Mexico. Unbelievable what doesn't happen to the abusers. Yeah, it's actually, it could be interesting if like we could show like what kind of have like a conversation about the problems of this issue in Mexico. Um, I'm just very unfamiliar to Mexico. Never been to Mexico. Yeah, the issue I have with Canada is the police are very unresponsive. It's kind of like, it's very similar to the issue that PCI faces, because like they're in the Midwest and basically Ohio, Michigan, they literally just don't enforce the laws on child enticement at all, especially because of predator catchers. But I think they just in general don't enforce it. In Canada, it's very similar. I've heard that Canada is beginning to kind of come around on actually prosecuting these cases that need to be prosecuted. I don't recall Justin Payne has. The issues kind of have with Justin Payne is he calls himself a vigilante and he jumps on cars. I think that that's counterproductive. I don't know if I'm on not disturb. Hold on. Yes, it looks like the lines are open. Brian Ito. Looks like maybe with the sombrero and a mustache. Oh my god. Oh, he used to jump. Maybe if he doesn't anymore. I just thought, yeah, I just kind of took issue with that. So basically, so I am editing. I have actually already edited Southwest Sketch. Basically, I need to send him the thumbnail. But we kind of have to work out a good time so that we can kind of I can show him how to upload it and everything. But everything's really good to go. I have the catch; it's already done. You know, and he's going to be working with someone who is coming to visit him, who is going to help him do more catches. Can't remember any of the Canadian catchers getting an arrest on cam. Yeah, it's really bad down there. And that's the thing. I've always seen these. That's almost like what kind of started the motive for MVCAP is. I would see a lot of them were from Canada. Yeah, he's still working with Seven, but a lot were from Canada. But basically, it's like they just called them vigilantes. One lawyer, I think, just said that just like wrongfully so. He was actually a renowned defense attorney who defended pedophiles for a living, and he said that predator catchers can go to prison themselves because they're luring a pedophile to meet a kid. Which obviously they're not luring a pedophile to meet a kid. They're doing it themselves. So. Trying to think of anything more to cover. Oh, yeah, and also, I kind of want to be in the process of figuring out how monks. So basically, how the membership tier works is there's basically a base level. I think it's $2.99, and basically they'll get kind of all the live catches. You'll be able to see them at any time, and then basically I unlist everything, but I would make it everything available on the next year, which is like the all access something. It's just uh, saying basically certain membership and certain amount available. But the highest one is I think it's $8.99. It's called the monk tier, which basically means that they will be able to engage on the catches themselves. So rather than, which I kind of saw was problematic, was posting like kind of the family's like real time reaction, you know, and kind of showing the family's like real-time reaction, to the catch, which I kind of could argue could be an invasion of privacy, but I mean, I'm not against it. I'm just kind of not for it. But instead of kind of a replacement to that, I thought like it would still be good to show like a real person reaction to, to what's going on, to a predator outside of the situation, and kind of someone, group of people that could be would be basically a monk. So they would either be able to call in or join on the stream and StreamYard. So I'm still trying to figure out how to create that kind of engagement. So if any of the monks have any ideas on that, they can contact me at any time. I'm trying to work that out. Um, trying to figure out what else to discuss. Remember, I already read that. So this is a link. Kind of see if anyone wants to call in. Oh, actually, I'm seeing that Alex has a live catch. So I'm actually gonna end this stream and check out your boy JDQ. Alex has a live catch, so I'm gonna kind of end the stream now. But just kind of at the end, I'll actually read. Just kind of closing off, I'll actually read Southwest post. So Southwest made a community post about kind of an update on, his branch and his state of doing catches. He says to answer many questions. This is Jeff. This is Handicap Southwest speaking. He says to answer many questions, we've been on a hiatus, if you will, situations that occurred out of control and not a lack of us trying, etc. Handicap Brian and I tried to premiere the video today, but couldn't due to a lack of coverage, etc. So basically, like the cell phone coverage, wasn't kind of good enough to communicate. Basically, to instruct them how to upload the video. Also, both my laptop and cell phone are literally falling apart. My cell phone is physically falling apart. Life happens, but good news is things are starting to finally come together. Should have the first premiere up this weekend and new catches as well with a surprise guest. Thank you to all of the real supporters. God bless. So that's from Invicap Southwest. Yeah. So I'm going to end off the stream and just saying like kind of some level lessons learned so far, and also how there'll be kind of a different kind of catches in the future. And with that said, I'm gonna end the stream.